It's showtime.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
I can't wait for that movie to come out.
What?
Is there another one?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kevin Harris, and you're another episode 138 of The Sound, as we bring in Kreuked Media, and I fuck it all up right at the very beginning, but it's all good.
Okay.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Matt.
And I'm good. And we're rocking in the new year. That's okay. What better way to start it out than just like that? I love it. It's an internet show, ladies and gentlemen, so go fuck yourselves.
Tongue-tied, and I just shut up for the rest of the show.
You know what it was, Kevin? It was the excitement that you had for starting out the new year. You were so anxious to talk about all the cool shit that we've got going on for us, and you just tripped up a little bit. Hey, even Tom Brady threw interceptions from time to time, right?
That's right, he did. And speaking of football, thank you, Nick Saban, for retiring.
I heard about that.
Yeah. So
I don't even know.
Anyways. So we've got the Grudge Match tonight with Architects taking on Etched and Embers, as Etched and Embers goes for the Hall of Fame. Kreuked Media will be joining us to talk about their side of the music business with music videos and such as they do. And then maybe we might have a pop-in guest if I can get a hold of him and see how their recording is going in San Antonio.
That'd be
Russ,
cool.
what's up, dude? How about that cover, man?
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's talk about that. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and talk about that, because I'm about to pop it up right there.
Look at these guys.
Yeah, the January issue of the Sound 228 magazine is out with Etched in Embers on the cover. Ozark, Missouri. Wait, it's Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ozark, Missouri. Guys are on the cover. They just released an album titled Obsolete. Go check it out. It's their debut album. It's been a long time coming. Lots of blood, sweat, tears. Gotta, go support the guys. If you're familiar with this podcast, you're familiar with our radio station, you know who Etched and Embers are. Go show them some love. And if I'm pretty sure if you buy that vinyl that they have, that they will sign it for you. Just saying. Debut album, put that in your collection.
I am ordering that vinyl tonight, as a matter of fact, when the show's over with.
Hell yes. Nice. Hell yes. Happy Song has been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lisa said, if you're familiar with the show, we've played, I would say, almost all of their music, right? Like the singles, the releases, deviated a little bit, but in a really cool way for this song. It feels, to me, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but still in their wheelhouse. I love it. The video's awesome. Just good shit, man. If you haven't heard it, go check it out.
Yeah, and not only that, but they're... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, it's been a long few years with Etched and Embers through the Sound with the radio station and all of that. And Russ, without me having to look it up, there's one other song in the Hall of Fame, correct?
There is.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to check out the Hall of Fame, by the way, you can go to our app, and there's a square or a tile in the app. You just click on the tile. You won't be able to select the videos, but it'll run it from video number 1 all the way through, and you'll be able to see every single video that's ever made the Grudge Match Hall of Fame.
Is it from Ashes?
So
I think it may be from Ashes, and I think there may be more than one in there, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think there may be more than one in there, to be honest.
You're not gonna make me work here.
I'm gonna look. I got it.
Like Etched and Embers is also our artist of the month, which means you'll see posts on our social media just talking about them. What's happening with them. I know they've done some killer shows towards the end of last year, and let's hope they keep moving forward in 24 with smashing out the shows and bringing us some more new music towards the end of the year. Hopefully, Russ.
It's Bring Me Back. Okay.
Yeah, Bring Me Back is the one that's in there.
Okay, you got it before I did.
That might be my favorite one of theirs still, too, I think. That song was good.
Yeah. See, From Ashes is my fave because, like, Russ didn't even think about this, but the band's called Etched and Embers. What do you have in ashes after a fire? You have embers.
Right.
And one of the lyrics is from ashes we rise again.
Yep.
I was like, it's the perfect fit for an Etched and Embers titled band, you know?
Look, even Russ agrees with you.
Makes sense. I like it.
Yeah, Jared.
Well, right. We want to say hello to all the people watching us on Instagram Live. That's another feature.
No, not yet. See, I told you I hated it.
Never mind.
I had to go over and go live.
All right, he didn't hit it yet. Well, we'll wait 3 seconds, and maybe now we want to say, hey, welcome to the show, and welcome to the people watching on Instagram Live, because that's a new thing we're doing here in 24. We will be the horizontal and not the vertical, but that's what the software does if you do all of them like we're doing. So bear with us on that, but you'll still get to hear the show. So
yeah. So to everyone in the comments, Shelly, what's up?
Sucks. Love
the hate. What's up? Ann, what's up? Jason, Michael, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you.
Heck
So
yeah.
Nan's in the comments who wrote. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great show. So we got a grudge match to get to, man.
We do, and we can go ahead and get that started now. It's here's how it works with the grudge match, and now we got to add something else. I got to look up at all the tiles here. So if you're on Facebook and during video number 2, you'll see a poll pop up, and you'll vote video number 1 or video number 2. Now, if you're on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram, you put it in the comments, video number 1 or video number 2, and we will tally those votes along with the Facebook poll. And at the end of the show, either Architects will be our new champion or Etched and Embers will be going into the Hall of Fame. So one of those things are going to happen tonight. So if you guys are ready, we will go ahead and we will get this started right now.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's let it rip.
Here we go.
To
Well, that'll get your attention.
Yeah. And I really hate you for this grudge match.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
Luckily,
Why?
why? Because I'm good friends with Etched and Embers and love their
You
music.
can't
And like
vote.
Architect
You
is
can't
like,
vote. It shouldn't bother you.
yeah, but it's frustrating.
yeah,
But I love the
yeah.
battle.
I can't believe he didn't catch hate for that before we went with video number 1. But it's now's a good a time as any.
Oh, Russ has posted all over his socials about it. It's been really funny to watch. He's like, "Oh shit, pretty sure there was some really nice comments about you too, Kevin."
No,
Yeah, exactly.
It almost made me want to go back to the whole let's create a shirt with hashtag damn it Kevin.
Yeah. You know, for all my Star Wars fans out there, when the Emperor is like feeding off the hate and he's just getting stronger and stronger, that's Kevin. When y'all hate on him for this shit, he loves it. It's what makes him get up in the morning. This is his fuel. So
I do. I think about how can I do this to fucking piss off as many people as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How can I alienate myself in the music business?
Right. Send all of your hate mail, by the way, to Kevin at thesound228.com. Again,
That's
that is Kevin at thesound228.com. And we will share those emails on the next one.
Yeah, oh God, that'd be great.
That would be great.
We could have fun. We could have fun with that one.
We could like read it in weird voices.
There'd be a whole fucking episode about that.
One good thing about it, though, for people out there watching right now and in the comments, I mean, it's viewers' choice, right? And Architects, while they're a bigger band, a little bit at a disadvantage, you know, possibly their fans won't show up like Etched and Embers will. So there's that.
Yeah.
Not to say that the music, you know, I mean, it's killer. That's why we pick these songs.
Yeah. Great.
There's a good one from Russ.
Yeah.
At least we're in the graphic with Architects.
That's right. You're right. It's okay. Take it however you can get it, man.
Jonathan, yes,
You know?
all hate emails straight to spam.
Nah, we're gonna dig that up.
All right.
Nope.
You ready,
All right,
Kevin?
here we go. Here's video number 2, and you will see the poll on Facebook. If you are on YouTube, X, Twitch, or Instagram, please put in the comments. I haven't seen anybody comment on Instagram yet to see if it actually pops up in our feed yet.
I think full disclosure, if you're voting on Instagram Live, we can't guarantee that vote's going to count because I'm looking at it right now, Kevin. I mean, you don't get to, it doesn't give you the entire history, right?
Here, hold on.
I'm looking at it right now. Like I saw some comments earlier, and once
I just commented hello from the sound. I was going to see if it popped up in here.
I see it on my app. But anyway, don't vote on Instagram Live, man. Jump over to one of these other platforms. There's enough of them.
All right, here we go. Here's video number 2. It is Etched and Embers. It's Happy Song. It's the Grudge Match, and you're watching the sound.
Wanna stay happy, about holding on, but those days are gone. Say you're moving on.
Forced to leave it all behind. Convince myself that I don't mind. You and I were always right till it all went down. In this war we always fight. When bombs explode in the house at night. Alone together we survive until it all falls down. I wanna sing a happy song about holding on, but those days are gone. Now you're moving on. I can't remember where it all went wrong. We've lost the words to our happy song about holding on. I just want to sing a happy song. Learning what was right is wrong. Remember how it started strong. We were living a happy song till it all went down. Locked days were numbered all along. The way there's
gets me every time.
Same.
About holding on, about holding on. I wanna forget the drunk nights, all the times we drew the good fight. Always holding on to the train that's me and you. I wanna sing a happy song about holding on, about holding on. But those days are gone. Now you're moving on, you're moving on. I can't remember where it all went wrong. We've lost the words to our happy song about holding on, about holding on. I just wanna sing a happy song.
All right, there's Etched and Embers and Happy Song, and I swear, I turned the videos on and then I start doing other stuff, and every single time it gets to that part in that video, I feel my heart drop into my stomach. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What'd I do?
I thought it was me because I was showing comments and I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I was trying to text in the chat on the live, and I'm doing this, and I went.
You're not allowed to touch buttons in here, Lisa. You should know this by now.
Oh shit! I want to say though about Etched and Embers real quick. Both songs were great. Etched and Embers though, and I said on the broadcast before, kudos to them for stepping out and making that song. All their songs are great. I've been a huge fan, but that song sounds different. And Kevin, I don't know if we have time to go super deep into that video that I sent you from the other night about how the music mafia and the radio.
Yeah.
But what Etched and Embers did right there to me is what that video was talking about just making your shit sound unique and not getting funneled into everybody sounding the same guitar tones, the same style of writing, and it's all can be good, but it just gets to be like homogenous. They stepped out that it sounds different, still Etched and Embers, still got the great breakdown, but different. And then overlaid it with a video that's creative as hell, right? That's not your typical hard rock heavy video with these balloons and shit. And dude, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was sitting there and we were talking about it, how I said, I like videos because videos are fun. They add a different part of it. And I was thinking about, my favorite rock segment of music is the hair bands. That's where I got into rock, was the hair bands. And I was thinking about their videos, like Poison sitting in a diner and just talking about crap, and all of a sudden the diner just turns into a venue and they start playing and things like that. And I was like, how cool would it be for one of these rock bands now to take and do an 80s video, like dress, almost in full drag, just do a show, do something like that.
Well, now we're talking about Steel Panther.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But like a Void.
I don't count Steel Panther.
A Void came out. We haven't talked about them in a while. They came out, in my opinion, with a different look. The way they dressed, the way they, their music was different. And then the videos were almost comedy versus like we're heavy.
Yeah.
It was like silly shit. And it's just different and it works.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It makes them more relatable.
Talking of a Void, we need to get Benny back on at some point this year. That was probably one of my favorite interviews last year. Like, that dude's he's funny.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we've done in the past, and we did it, I guess, in November or October or whatever. We kind of put it in social media of who would you like us to see to get on the show? And look, your requests are awesome, but some of them are just way out of reach for us right now.
Yeah.
So, unless you know somebody,
very true. It's all about that game. It's all in who you know.
That's right.
So,
all right.
anyways,
we've got guests.
All right. While we're here, ladies and gentlemen, please like, share to your friends, invite your friends to come watch the show. We'd love to see some new faces in here that we can either scare off or invite into the family. So,
hey, real quick before we jump into the guest, just because it kind of dovetails off of what we talked about earlier, we're about new rock, new music, bringing it to the masses and everything. I'm going to share a link to a video that I mentioned just a second ago, that Rick Beato video. Guys, if you have time, go watch this video. It talks about how radio stations got hijacked by the big conglomerates and why rock music died in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a really, really good video. We don't ever share other people's shit in our comments, but I was so moved. Kevin, weren't you moved by?
No, absolutely. I was I was at work watching it.
Getting mad,
No, but I was sitting in my office and I didn't, that was one of those, you don't have to watch it to know what's going on. So I'm just listening to it, and as I'm typing, I'm going, God, that's everything that they were saying was so freaking accurate, because I got into radio 99, and their main point was 96 is about where it really started to go bad. But I saw a lot of that while I was in radio and understood it, and it was so accurate and so spot on. And if you get a chance, 25 minutes, watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It just talks about how all the radio stations get bought up, and that's
I'll watch it until we're done, though.
That's why you started hearing less and less diversity in music, and everything just kind of started being the same, and all across the country it was the same. But the whole time I'm watching that, I'm thinking, we're trying with an app and with the internet and not using FM. We're out here, and there are people in the comments right now that believe and want to hear new shit. So anyway, go check it out. But let's get to the guest.
Yes.
All right, let's get Kreuked Media in here. Here we go. Gentlemen, welcome.
How's it going, y'all? How's it going, everybody?
You're good.
Okay, good.
We're doing well. We are very glad to have you. We are very glad to dive into another side of the music industry, which is what you guys with videos and such. So, Lisa and Matt, you guys know them a little more better than we do. You want to start and then we'll just let it morph into what it morphs into.
Matt.
For Lisa.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, guys. Before we get started. Okay. So Kreuked Media has done work with some of your favorite artists that we play here on The Sound. They've done videos for West Creek. They've done videos for Kingdom Collapse. Guys, if you wouldn't mind, Kevin.
Now keep going. I was trying something. Just keep going.
Guys, if you wouldn't mind, would you please introduce yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Kevin. My last name is Kreisel. I am the founder of Kreuked Media, and this is Anthony.
Hey, everybody. Like you said, I'm George Anthony, and I have been with Kreuked Media for 2 years now.
Okay. So when you guys, one of the things that I think a lot of bands, as they're coming into the market and they start to elevate a little bit and they get maybe a little bit of cash, or they're starting to try and push their brand a little bit more, that's really where you get involved, Jonathan Norris. What do you find? We're always telling bands, at least I know Matt and I are in what we do, telling bands they've got to have, if they want to have and grow their brand, not only do they need banging tracks, they really need top tier content. They've got to be putting out content that's going to grab the attention. It's going to be relevant. It's going to capture the essence of the tracks that they're putting out. What are you guys finding? What is your role, I guess, in the market? How do you guys go about getting in contact with people, making those music videos, and then supplying that relevant content to the bands? Tell us about your process.
So I guess I'll kind of take you back to the start and why Kreuked Media formed. Truthfully, I was in a band. I played drums, and Anthony was a guitarist. And so that's how we had met each other way back when, in the early 2000s. And like most people, you look at, what does my future look like? And in terms of what your wants are. And for me personally, it was, wanting to have a family one day. And so, sometimes it's hard to match those lifestyles. And for me, I deviated from the music path and actually went into the retail environment, which I still do to this day. But the reason why Kreuked Media exists is because I went to college for cinematography and design. And for one, making sure that I didn't completely waste the degree that I was working towards. But two, I saw where there's this huge gap, right, where you see a demand for content building, but the reality of achieving that is not as tangible. And you see a lot of these bands that are starting to have amazing music, and can, fall into different streaming apps or get into like different ways to get their music out there. But you said it earlier best, people want to have something that really sparks their interest and their attention. And I think that that's something that we've been able to have fun with doing. Our first and foremost priority out of anything is to have fun. Like, we're not here to pull a profit. I know that sounds super contradictory to any business model, but we do this for fun, and it's been growing to the point to where it sustains itself and puts a little money into our pocket, which is cool. I think it's the best business model anybody can have. You can show up and have fun with what you're doing, and then be able to invest back into the community which you once lived in. You're now doing a service to that community. I don't know, Anthony, is there anything you kind of want to throw into that?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I was just really going to echo off of that. Is the biggest thing we push is family, right? Because we have families of our own, but also, the I guess if you want to call them clients, the bands that we work with are like family to us too. They're friends outside of the creativity, and I think that kind of makes everything else flow that much easier and much more organically when we actually get on set and start, hashing things out. So really just about family and togetherness, and it's been like that from the start. Started as a friendship, and now it's going into this full-fledged creative media company that we have going. So that's really all of it. Yeah.
So what other clients, I mean, you guys are in the San Antonio area, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we're based
Okay.
out of San Antonio. To date, we've primarily done local artists. I believe we've had the opportunity to work with the best local artists that we have, and we've grown, I think, mutually together, which has been really exciting. I tell most of the people that we work with that this is going to be a journey, right? Because it's not a one and done. Our goal, again, is not to get rich off of you. Our goal is to see you succeed and you continue to grow your platform. And what's the coolest thing for us is to say that we're part of the ride, right? Like, that's for us. The other thing, too, I think that has allowed us to continue to do this in the most fun way is that we don't take on every project we're offered. We're offered lots of projects throughout the year, Jonathan. I feel like half of this interview is going to be Jonathan interjecting here. But
I'm only putting up half his comments.
Yeah. Just somebody mute Jonathan. But no, it's been a tremendous journey working with the guys from Kingdom Collapse. So major shout out to Kingdom Collapse. In terms of like, who we started with and who we've worked with, Kreuked Media in some way, shape, or form has been around since early 2011, but was just a thing that kind of existed. We didn't really try to push it. We didn't try to commercialize it. We didn't try to, push it into what it is today. Even in today, it's still, I think, in its infancy for what it is. Like, we don't take on more than maybe about 5 or 6 projects. And we only take on the projects that we want to do, the projects that we're going to be passionate about, that we're going to give 120% into, to work late night hours, to whatever it is that we have to do to help these bands, which we call our team's success. Like that's where we have invested most of our time and our energy. Not that we couldn't take on other projects, but what are we going to be passionate about? What are we really going to want to do? So all the projects that you see, we've taken on because we want. We've truly been our own boss. There's nobody driving this ship other than what we've decided to take on. And the bands that we work with, we feel super privileged to work with. Yes, Kingdom Collapse. Yes, West Creek. But we do work with some other unique style of artists. We have a duo that we've worked with in the past that has more of an electronic vibe, kind of like a 21 Pilots kind of vibe. We've worked with some older clientele, some guys in the band that like to do more of an experimental kind of sound. And like an older, like a 1984 kind of vibe to it. And so we worked with bands like that. And then we've gotten into heavy stuff. Like I was watching the Architects video earlier. I'm a huge fan of Architects. Now I will say though, I had to backtrack a little bit because you guys were talking about bands that sound like other bands. That song is a complete Bring Me the Horizon style song. Now I dig it because I'm a huge Bring Me the Horizon fan. But the other band that you guys played definitely sounded uniquely different, and I love the creativity of that music. Whoever shot it, well done from the band. I thought.
Ibanez. Well, it sounds like you guys have mostly grown then really from word of mouth.
Yes.
A very organic, slow burn up to getting, I guess, more and more, clientele, and again, staying passionate about what you do. Why don't we do why don't we take a look at one of the videos that you've done, the latest single from Kingdom Collapse, and then we can maybe talk
now
about
that
it.
He's in the comments.
I don't want to do it.
And that'll lead perfectly onto my question.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. This is Kingdom Collapse and Never Be Like You, and you are watching The Sound.
I never fit in, I am not a cool kid. Never give a fuck about any of that bullshit. And I don't care if you approve. I'll never be like you. I never fit in, I am not a cool kid. Never give a fuck about any of that bullshit. And I don't care if you approve. I'll never be like you. I'm just an outcast, living out my dreams and I will outlast. What you think of me, don't give a fuck if I don't fit in. 'Cause I've got nothing left to prove. I'll never be like you. Misfit, fuck you. You say I'll never make it. I'm not anything like you. 'Cause every single time I've done it without you, I'm headed to the top. Talk shit if you have to. When will you realize I thrive on the outside, where I'm far away from you? I'm just an outcast, living out my dreams and I will outlast. What you think of me, don't give a fuck if I don't fit in. 'Cause I've got nothing left to prove. I'll never be like you. I never fit in, I am not a cool kid. Never give a fuck about any of that bullshit. And I don't care if you approve. I'll never be like you. I'll never fit in, I'm not a cool kid. Never give a fuck about any of that bullshit. And I don't care if you approve. I'm just an outcast, living out my dreams and I will outlast. What you think of me, don't give a fuck if I don't fit in. 'Cause I've got nothing left to prove. I'm just an outcast, living out my dreams and I will outlast. What you think of me, don't give a fuck if I don't fit in. 'Cause I've got nothing left to prove. I'll never be like you. I'm not a cool kid, never give a fuck about any of that bullshit. And I don't care if you approve. I'll never be like you.
Damn good video.
All right, there it is.
Damn
So
good
there
video.
here's the question. and I had the same question earlier. Jonathan and David, when are we going to see you? Jonathan says soon.
There we go.
Nice.
I
So
think Matt had a question. Yeah, before we're going into the video, Matt, why don't you kick it off?
yeah, so as Jonathan was in the comments, I was actually going to use "Never Be Like You" as an example. So Lisa was talking about your process. So how long and how do you get to from Jonathan per se coming to you and being like, Kevin, I've got this single, I need a music video, here's my concept. From that to the end product, what's the process? Is there a lot of back and forth going? Is there a lot of like doodling stuff down and finding venues and stuff? It's not a quick process, I presume.
It's not. It's my dog's here. Sorry. He wants to jump in and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, all good.
But it's a longer process now. I will say our process has changed considerably now that Kingdom Collapse tours the majority of the year. And so the way that we work together has changed. In the early days, it was, okay, let's really sit down. Let's, build a concept out of it. Let's start kind of drafting things out, storyboard, more of your traditional timeline. As we've worked together so many times. Matter of fact, I had to write this down. We've done 11 Kingdom Collapse music videos today. We've done every music video that they have done. So when I say growing together, like part of that family, that's it, right? That's a real world example where we're with you for life. Now, at some point, I joke with John all the time. He needs to go find some massive, studio to go, Michael Bay his next music video. But till then, we'll keep trucking with them. But as far as the process, I'm kind of side steering here. The process is, the way it works now is, as they're writing their music, we're building ideas with that music. And so we'll have various touch points depending on where they're at in their tour schedule. And then we'll kind of start with the end in mind. Okay, when do we need to release it? Then let's work backwards from there. When can we physically get together and film this? Then before that, when can we go in and physically start jotting out our ideas? It's almost kind of like, as we're listening to the song, we're Fantasia in our heads, right? It's like, what is it that we're seeing? What is it that we want to bring to life? Most times, John is actually a great co-pilot in the directing part. He actually directs a fair bit of what you see as well, because he has such a strong vision in what it is that he wants to achieve with his music direction. So we put a lot of things in. But it differs on the band. But as far as like from start to finish, you're talking about 2 to 3 months from concept to final product. Now that's not like a consecutive group of work. It may be 3 or 4 days editing here, a couple of days editing here. Then we'll have final proofs, review. Then we'll start the teaser process, and then we'll do that final. But yeah, total of about 2 to 3 months on the long one.
Yeah, it's a long old time once you carry on, Kevin.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to ask is, so we have bands from all over that watch this and stuff like that. So is there an opportunity for you guys to travel to a band, or do you have the bands travel to you guys?
So we're not against either option. Like I said, I do view Kreuked Media as one in its infancy, because it's organically growing into what it is. And that's been a cool thing to see. In terms of like travel, we've been offered to travel. We've had some bands offered to pay hotel and all that. They ultimately didn't work out because of various timelines. Again, tour schedules have a lot to do with it. We're, for the most part, out of COVID, so everybody's back on the road, right? Everybody's saying Fast and Furious. Some bands are almost putting out 2 albums because they did so much writing during the pandemic. So it just comes down to timelines and all that. We're not against it, but certainly we could host a situation where if somebody wanted to come to San Antonio, we could work something out. We are looking for more bands. Yes, I think.
Yeah. First thing I want to say is kudos to you for the LD50 hanging up behind you in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to bring that up too, because I also see the Used up there, I think. and Blink 182.
Yeah, I thought
And
that's what that was. Yeah, but I was like
Yeah.
staring down the LD50.
Yep.
I'm a product of that generation.
Yeah,
early
big-
90s, early 2000s, even into some of the emo phase. But
Big
I like the range of music. I like the heavy stuff. I keep joking with Jonathan from Keenan Collapse, but this is a reality. He needs to make vinyl so I can put it on my wall. I'm sure a lot of people would buy it.
Yeah.
So, John, I know you're listening. Make vinyl. Come on.
We need vinyls, Jonathan.
My question was, well, first I love to hear like the passion part of it. You know, obviously that's why all of us are here on this side of the screen, is that it's the same thing. We just love music and we love hearing the new stuff and hearing the new bands. We've talked to some other artists before that you said something interesting, that it's not the thing that you're surviving solely on right now, right? Did I hear you correctly in saying that?
Yeah, it's you're casting a net, right? I mean, and look at how many different social media platforms are out there. So like when we cut a music video, that music video needs to be shot with a few things in mind. Most music videos are shot with there can be a standard 16:9 format, or that 21:9, which is a wider screen format, which you saw in that last music video that you showed. But how we frame things so that way they can be used on multi-platforms, right? Like Instagram story, TikTok, right? And everything has different time links. And so there's a whole new complexity to the social media environment now that we aim to help support bands with as well, right? So as we're doing music videos, we don't just do music videos. There we go. Vinyl's coming. I love it. We don't just do music videos. We're doing the social media aspects, right? We're looking at, what is your Instagram story going to look like? What's your Facebook story going to look like? Are you going to do a YouTube short? Are you going to do, what do you want that aspect ratio to be? What's that time frame need to be? Because at this point, you've got to get everything everywhere. It has to be everywhere. And TikTok is more of that, I call it the ADHD environment, where it's like you want fast, quick things that can
Potato chips.
Hit the hook and go, right? As where
Potato
YouTube maybe more of that slower enjoying, you're sitting down and watching. But yeah, it's a completely different landscape now. And, this is just a portion of that. And we're super passionate to be able to provide that for bands without a huge large expense. So.
I guess where I was going with it more though, is this your full-time gig, or do you still have? Yeah. Okay. So I bring that up to say that, and you mentioned it earlier. I think that's awesome. We've talked to some other artists before. Kevin, you'll have to help me with the name, but the guy that sold his logging company, and then that allowed him.
Fire Follows.
Yes. And he had a great story. And one of the things I loved about it, and kind of sounds like your situation, is that a lot of bands that we see on the internet or we meet live, like, they're passionate, they want to do it, they go all in, and that's great, but it can leave you vulnerable and financially, right, in a lot of ways. And either you could get taken advantage of, or you don't have the right resources, you can't adequately produce your music or get the videos made. So I love hearing your side of things, as to where, like, you're still, I'm assuming, like, working a regular job, which allows you then to be selective about what you do, put the right amount of time into it, and then make a great product. And I hope anybody that's in a band, artist, whatever, listening to that, because you have to balance the two. It's great to go all in. I respect that. But if you do it and you go all in and you can't afford, Lisa, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't afford to put the product out right, you just shot yourself in the foot before you ever started the race.
Yeah, there's no point.
Right. And
you
I
don't
know,
have the
like,
visuals to go with the audio, you're only halfway there.
There's a saying out there that says you got to spend money to make money.
Oh yeah.
Right? You have to invest in yourself continually. And so there are times where we talk to bands and they throw out they want the Michael Bay performance, right? But they have $20 to their name for that, right? And it's like, you also have to start within your reality, right? And how you continue to build those things up. The joy for us is that we do have some of that flexibility. Like I said earlier, this is not our full-time business, right? Like, this is our passion project. We do it because we want to do it, right? We don't do it just to survive. So
I think that's your advantage. I think that's your advantage.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because it's not, let me get as many projects as I can get in this month and just crank out a bunch of content because I need to keep my platform going And I need to
Correct.
keep
That was my point. Yeah.
No, it's the other way around. It's, hey, you know what? I didn't like the way this part of the music video was shot. I'm going to take my time out of my time and go reshoot something. Or, hey, you know what? I thought of another location that may work better. Let me reinvest into your project that we're doing to where we can get things to where we want them to be, so we can give out the best product that we possibly can. Or, hey, you know what? We need to work at different intervals and work on these projects throughout the year. That's okay too. You know, we're here to support the bands that we partner with, because it truly is that partnership, right? Like, you know, you don't do 11 music videos with a band by just trying to make money. There's a partnership there. Right? That's something that we've been super thankful for to do, and we would love more of those opportunities if they present themselves, you know, in the coming years. You know, maybe at some point this does become that true money-making machine, but that's not our goal. That's not our intent in mind. Our intent is to truly be that community support and help these bands that we personally believe in and want to see continue to grow their craft and their skill. And you said earlier, it comes through their visuals, right? It's a two-edged part, right? Like there's an art to music videos, and there's an art to music. So they go hand in hand together, and they can really tack on that extra element to the experience of what that means.
I think that's why you'll succeed, is because that's your foundation, and it may be a longer rise, you know what I mean? But that's great. That's the way to go. Lisa and Matt, y'all both said it earlier, like this is a video based world. Like this is a music based show, but it's online, and like music videos are more important than they ever have been, whether you like that or not. And I get both sides of the argument. Like there was an article not too long ago, I forget it was a major artist that's like, I just want to be a songwriter. I don't want to do all these other things. And it's like, respect, but that's either pay somebody to do it if you have the money, but complaining about it ain't going to change that. That's how it is. That's how it is, period.
Either that or sell your songs and make your money that way. If you don't want to be in the visual market, then if you're a songwriter, sell your songs.
Write them and sell them.
It'll write you a check and move on your way.
Right.
But how do you market yourself? How do you market yourself if you're doing that? You still got
that's a word of mouth game.
Yeah. And I read an article not too long ago that the music video is dying, but it's not, because like Kevin films like a 3-minute long video for a song, right? That's 3 minutes worth of 30-second content that the band's got that they can cut up and post out on social media and advertise themselves and grow themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, TRL and MTV are not what they used to be for my generation, but YouTube is, and even further past that, like you just said, Matt, you put it on YouTube and then you chop the shit out of it, right? And then spackle that all over every one of these platforms that we're all on right now, and that's the game.
It really is. And then, you know, getting back to what Kevin was saying, that, you know, you take that content and that you've got to format it for all the different platforms, because you need to go ahead and execute that then all over your social medias, which all require a different size, right? But then the beauty of it is you can take that 3-minute video, right? You can put the hook in there to any sequence of that video that you wish. And you can even just combine images, right, to flash across the screen. It doesn't have to be a continuous video. It can just be images flashing across the screen with the hook. And there it is. You can use that anywhere. So I think doing the music video is still super important, but what are you using it for in the end is really the bigger picture.
100%. Yeah. It's cool for me to hear y'all say that I guess you go into the shoot, whether you want to do, you said 16:9, or I forget what's the wider one.
21:9, which is starting to get into what you call more of an anamorphic aspect ratio.
Right, but you're framing that shot regardless if it's 16:9 or the other one. You're framing that shot knowing that you might slice a TikTok, Instagram live out of it, and that's killer. That means to me, you know, it's like you're up to date and you know why we're doing what we're doing. It ain't just because it's the 1980s and 90s and it's MTV. No, it's like but it's updated. That's killer.
But, you know, I think there's something to still be said about creating a story, right? Because essentially as a music video company, we're storytelling without words, right? And that story should be a compliment to whatever that song is, and what that artist kind of had in mind. Now there are times where you do parody music videos, like I think somebody had talked about Avoid earlier, which I'm a huge Avoid fan. I love their music videos; they're super cool. I would love to do some more of that kind of content in the future that we're doing. But you know, I think it's the storytelling that goes hand in hand into it. You know, I think of some of the early music videos that we did with Kingdom Collapse. Some of their best music videos in accompaniment to the actual song itself are the ones that are like true visual tales, right? They're telling a story that people can relate to, or maybe they haven't relate, but somehow they connect with that individual in that music video. So I think of like Suffer, like the first music video that we did together, right? You know, that took you on this ride of revenge. You know, it wasn't just, you know, somebody dealt with a heartache. It was, I'm going to go kick some ass at the end with it too. And, you know, I think it's being able to share those stories that can be relatable and enjoy. That's the coolest part for me. And my wife hates it because all the time I'm constantly showing her music videos. Hey, does this make sense? Or, hey, what do you think here? And she's like, would you just stop showing me these songs?
Yeah. You know, it's definitely like, me and Lisa had this conversation back along with the whole, is the music video dead or whatever. And in my opinion, like, I'll take the Architects video, for instance, right? The whole music video of the band stood there playing has been killed to death, right? And like, we'll take the Etched and Embers song there. They're telling a story about the song. I'm more than likely going to go and watch the Etched and Embers Happy song more times on YouTube than I am the Architects one, because I get that story and I get that concept of the band's vision behind the song.
And then, you know, the marketing aspect of it too, right? It's kind of like when you're watching YouTube, or we go old school and say watching TV, right? And an advertisement comes on TV and you start seeing these repeat things that are happening. And something in your subconscious is happening, or suddenly you start thinking about these things that you're seeing repeatedly. And the same is said to be true in a music video, right? Like, you can come up with the greatest stories in the world, but are you selling the band or not? And I think that's a key difference, right? And so I think that's where, you know, the bands that we work with, they tap into this, they understand this, where it's, you're marketing their faces, right? You're marketing their image, and you have total control of that image. And so those are the things that you really want to make sure that you're careful in crafting, while also selling that great visual novel or storytelling that you're sharing, which has been really neat to do. You know, in terms of the growth aspect, what's really helpful is having help. So, you know, being able to be at a place now where I can afford to have a partnership in this. Anthony's truly helped take this to the next level in terms of having that extra creativity. The hardest thing to do, and I'm sure any musician can relate to this, is constantly living in a creative space. At some point you hit a roadblock. At some point you hit this wall of, man, I don't even know what to do here. Like, I can't think, it's not coming to me. Like, the creative juices just are not flowing for me. And being able to have the yin to the yang is super helpful to be able to keep the creativity going. And not only that, push what we're able to do, right? Because I think when I was more of the solo aspect and working with bands, it was, I don't know if I can do that. We're kind of pushing the edges of what we may be able to possibly do. And Anthony comes in and he's like, oh no, we can totally do that. Here's how. And then we'll start figuring it out. And the cool thing about the bands that we've worked with is that because we have some more of that flexibility in that time, they let us take risks. They let us take chances. There's a new music video that's going to be coming up with West Creek that's dropping actually this Friday. Them. That's one of the first music videos that we've ever done green screen on. So we're trying some different elements. We're also looking at 3D environments, things like that, that we can start to really push the envelope and what we're capable of doing. To, again, at the end of the day, support bands and help uplift them.
So there's lots of parts. It's not a case of you just go and film a music video. There's lots of parts of what you both do. So I'm going to ask this to both of you. What part of what you do you love the most?
Man, I love being able to show up and just be creative, right? We both touched on the fact that this is not our full-time gig all the time. So, going from and seeing this all come full circle from being a musician for so long and, having those shows and those practices where you just get to break away from, real life and express yourself. Well, that's what this is like too, right? At this stage of the game, we're able to step into the music video set and we're able to hash out all our ideas. Like he was saying, every creative runs into a block, and it almost seems like whenever he runs into a mental block, it's like, oh, hey, I got an idea. And then when I am not able to formulate an idea, he's right there and he's like, here's what we're going to do. And so to the artist, it looks like we've got it all figured out, but we're creatives too. And on the back end of it, we're trying to formulate as we go with the different ideas that we put in there. So I think it's awesome to see it, as a partnership now, and just see everything that we're going to not only putting out now, but what we're going to be able to put out in the future.
That's just like a band. I mean, right? That's the thing. It's no different.
We like I said earlier, how like Jonathan likes to, do some co-directing. We encourage that. Like, what is your vision? Like, we can come up with ideas all day long, but it's your product. Your
right.
Product. You're stamping it with your name, your seal of approval. And so a lot of times things just start in the cloud of ideas, right? And we start to narrow in locations and talent and what props do we need? Are there things that we're going to need to get cleared out legally, to make sure that we're able to get away with a location or whatever. But you asked what is the coolest part? I'll say this selfishly. We're fans of the bands before anything. We get to hear the music before anybody else.
Wow, that's the perfect answer. That really is the perfect
answer. Songs before anybody even knows what the heck they are. So
that's like a true. That's a true test that lets me know that you're in it for the right reasons. We've talked about it on the show before. To know if you're a real music junkie, if you want to test somebody on the street, ask them what their favorite band is, and if they pause and go, oh man, I like what genre, what year, what they're usually a music junkie. If you can't answer that question, very few people just answer it right away that are really into music. Some people do, but it's rare.
Don't go up to the person wearing a Nirvana t-shirt,
Yeah. They're like, what? Who is this? I don't know.
I've got a question. Can we talk about costs?
Yes.
Is that on the table? Okay. So hi, I've got a band. We put out a few singles. We're working with a producer. Me and the boys, our day jobs, we're working overtime, saved up a little bit of money, right? This next single, this is it for us. Our producer agrees this is going to go to radio. We got a little bit to put to a radio campaign. We really want to push hard. What can you do for us to try to get us that execution across our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube to help elevate this song? Got a little bit of money. How much is it going to cost us for you to knock this out?
That's a great question. And I'll answer it in this way. We have to live within our realities. And so the way the framework of a music video comes to play is I'm kind of like your pick your own parts and bring them to my shop and we're going to piece this bus together. And what I mean by that is that the first thing that you want to do is frame out what your story is. If you've already done that, you've done a portion of the work, right? You're coming with a part. The second thing is we have to nail in dates and see what's realistic for us from a filming perspective. How many dates are we required to film at? Do those locations require a police presence or a physical payout in order to obtain? Some places can charge by the hour. Some places are free. Those are the best places to save money. If you have access to those places, let's use them, right? The other thing would be your props. What kind of props do you need physically in this video? If you can provide that saves you time and money. If you want to have talent in your music video, meaning not your band itself, but actors, actresses, or makeup, visual arts. These are all things that can layer on to be that cost. Our job is we kind of play a bit of your financial advisement process. Say, hey, let's start way up here and let's start looking at what the reality is. If your budget is X, then let's work here and see what we can get you. As a standard formality, we typically start with a typical video day shoot around $500. And then the editing can charge differently. And then we can have social media packages that charge differently. But for a day's worth of shoot, you're looking at about $500. And we'll stretch that day if we need to. There's been times where we've shot way into the night, overnight. There's been times where we start very early in the morning, and then we're working all day. That last music video that you saw, that you guys shared, that was shot all day. And it was hot. It was hot too. We weren't in the AC at all. But we'll put ourselves in the extremes if that's what we need to do to give you guys the visuals that you're looking for.
So if I'm looking for that package though, for like I described, for my social media platforms and whatnot, if I came to you with like $3,000, $4,000, is it going to require that? Is it going to require a little bit less? If I'm looking for that real top tier, if I'm saying, no, I want you to handle it all, is that plausible?
So anything around the $3,000 mark is going to get you quite a bit. It's going to be a great starting place. We've done videos as low as $1,000. If we have to, that's what we need to do. Now it's going to come up to how much you're working on your end to provide those resources, right? But I don't think that there's a budget that we couldn't work with in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Because we would want to help you. If we're taking on your project, we want to help you. And we want to see in terms of where the ceilings are. The most common things that I see people needing is location and light. Those are like the two kind of basic things that you're looking at. We are personally, Anthony has his own arsenal of lights, so we're personally building our own light options and light packages that we just include to the base price. It's like, hey, if you're shooting with us, you get the lights for free. But if we have to outsource that, then it just comes down to what we're able to negotiate. But when I said that we work like your financial advisor, we're working to help you save money. Our goal is not, hey, Lisa, oh, you got $3,000? Yeah, I'm going to get you this base package and I'm going to pocket a couple grand on the side.
Right.
That's not my goal. My goal is how much more fun can we have in the process by hiring on more talent, having fun with what it is that we're doing to make the end experience even better. Because at the end of the day, we're not just investing in you, we're investing to both of us.
Oh, but your name on it at the end of the day.
Yeah, Kevin, that goes back to the video we mentioned earlier in the show, right? Of the producers charging for the amps that they already had in the studio and y'all got to go watch that video. I swear.
I bought this amp 20 years ago, but I'm going to charge the band $100 a day to use it.
Yeah, right. And then charge for the other amp if we used it once and do it's the exact opposite of what you guys just said is what was common practice with producing and recording a record. It's not, late 90s, early 2000s. So it's great to hear you guys say that you're the opposite of that. And that's absolutely amazing. I do have one more question, unless Lisa or Kevin, you want to say anything, ask anything before I shoot it out. Kevin?
No, go ahead.
Okay. My question was, and I think we lost Matt. Is he?
He looks.
Yeah, he looks uninterneted.
Matt looks gone. Maybe he's doing some lemon drop shots.
Yeah, but I love everything that you guys have said so far tonight, and I love the honesty on Lisa's question with the pricing. If you're listening to this, guys, live, replay, whatever, that's an honest answer because there are a ton of variables that go into something like a video shoot, right? You could have no extras, nobody else, free location. Guys, just please get me something that looks cinematic, and I need to get it out on the internet. And you're saying like a $500 a day add-on for editing, whatever, right? Or you can put the bells and whistles on it, and any one of those I think could do really well, just depending on the creativity and the power of the song, right? So that was a great answer. My question is, we have a independent artist audience. If it's a band that's just getting started, that's never branched out into the music video thing yet, right? I heard you already say that you love to work with their idea. If they bring the idea to you, even better. But what about the performance side and the camera side when they have, like, if you're in a band, you play live, you've had the lights, you've had the this and the that, but you've never had that camera in your face, and you've never had to interact with not people being there, right? Like, there's not a live audience there. It's a set, right? Like, had you coached bands through that, or
Absolutely. We're not going to let you just stand there. I mean, unless that is like literally, the creative idea around it. Our goal is we're going to push you just as you're going to push us, right? And if there's a story or a visualization that you're looking for, you're going to want to push us to being able to see if that's possible. Likewise, we're pushing you, like, hey, you know what, that last move didn't work. Hey, you know what, the framing on this we need to fix. Or, hey, the energy didn't match what you were saying. We're constantly doing that. There's been multiple times where I'm like, you know what, I didn't like that at all. Let's redo it, right? And so we'll invest that time. We're truly here to be with you to get you the best product that we can. I think that's, again, it just goes into that total package, right? Where we're in this with you, and we're going to push each other to see what's possible and what more we can do. Because we're controlling the narrative of how you're presenting yourself. You truly are. I mean,
your name's on it as well, just like their name's on the song, your name's on the video, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are great questions. I want to switch gears for a minute. Can I announce a giveaway?
We love giveaways.
All right.
I love that. Bring it on.
So, there's this small little tiny song that Kingdom Collapse did called Unbreakable.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, most
Me
people.
neither. I'll go look it up when it's done.
No,
I don't even know who the fuck the band is.
Hey, do y'all think that's Lisa?
I've got no idea who they are.
I don't know who Kingdom
Yeah,
Collapse
nobody knows who that is, right?
No, I've never seen
So, I got permission from the band. There's something that I've been holding on to for quite a while, and this is the final sign that Jonathan holds up at the end of the music video. We are going to have the band sign it and frame it, and we're going to give it away.
Wow.
Nice.
Here's how we're going to give it away.
Never heard of
Wait,
them.
I know who they are. I promise.
I'm scrolling through Spotify now. Give me a sec.
And this goes to show, again, it's the partnership. We're giving this away, but we want no credit out of it. We want it to go to support our band. And so if you go onto TikTok and share your unbreakable stories, so you're going to put hashtag my unbreakable story and tag the band in it, hashtag band in it, they're going to select somebody. And we're going to have this framed and signed by the entire band, and we're going to send it to them. So,
are you going to post this across your social media platforms as well? Because I know we'd like to, are you going to post this across your social media platforms as well? I know we'd like to share it.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to, we'll do a formal post about it, but
Fantastic.
I figured we'd save the announcement here because
thank you.
There's a nice little giveaway.
Yeah.
A memorable moment from the history of what we've done and what Kingdom Collapse has done.
Do y'all have dates on that, when it starts and when it ends yet?
We haven't gone that far into detail, but we'll put that on the
Sure. Hey, let us know, and like Lisa said, we'll connect that to all of our stuff as well, because that's super kick-ass. And anybody that competes in that doesn't, go give Kreuked Media a like, follow, share,
right,
hashtag, whatever. You're an asshole, so don't be an asshole.
Dude, it would look good right where that Motley Crue poster is.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about where I took it on my wall right now.
And none of us are allowed to win. I'll go ahead and say that right here. None of us are allowed to win.
The one detriment of being on the podcast and being part of this team is we don't get to win anything.
Don't get to win.
No, we just get to talk to cool kick-ass people like you guys. Thank you so much for being part of our show.
That's
tonight.
how we win. That's how we win.
Right, exactly. So,
yeah.
So if a band was going to hit you up or people wanted to find you, where's the best place for them to do that?
So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube at Kreuked Media. You can search us on any of those platforms, and they all link to each other. We're probably most active on Instagram, so at Kreuked Media, and we'd love to work with you. We're super thankful for every opportunity that we've had this far. It's such a fun journey, and we'd love to start a partnership with anybody that's ready to. If you're ready to go the long haul, like, let's do this together and let's have some fun and create together.
Last quick question. If I wanted to call you tonight, how far out are you already out in 2024 as of right now? Today's January the 10th.
We're booked out to about, I would say, May.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, that's good and bad.
For you,
Right?
yeah.
It's good and bad. Like I said, it's not our full-time job, but we don't just do music. There are other things that we dabble in as well. We're most passionate about music videos. And so that's where we have the most fun. But yeah, I would say realistically, probably not until about May.
That's fair enough. This is January the 10th when he answered that question, 2024. So I don't know if you're listening.
Or you can call us. I'll give a phone number. It's 210-540-1373. My name is Kevin. Again, this is Anthony. And we've been super appreciative to spend the evening with you guys and talk music and have some fun. We'd love to create your next project.
Man,
Yeah,
it's been great. We've talked about this last year, all of us over here on this side of the screen, about having more people in the industry on the show and not just the artists, which we obviously love the artists, we do. But this was a kick-ass conversation, and we really appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your night to do that. I mean, there's a lot of nuggets in there. If you're up and coming artist and you know, there was a lot of questions answered. So I hope y'all enjoyed as much as we did.
Yeah, thank you for being so candid with us, and appreciate your humility and willing to help all these bands. You guys just putting out a great product, so we're so happy to highlight you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us. You said it earlier, right? There's a large spectrum of people that do work in the background, and I think you'll find too that we aim to give them credit as well. I mean, it all goes hand in hand. Everybody has a part to play, and we're just as passionate as they are. So super thankful. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
There it is, all Lisa, all big and huge right there.
There we go. I got it.
Jeez, that doesn't need to be any bigger.
Oh, up yours, dude.
Oh, nice. What a kick-ass interview. What a kick-ass interview to start off 24. That was
yeah, man.
That was
like,
great.
And this is what we said. We need to get, you know, we're here to support and love all the bands and stuff, but we're also here to support and love all the people behind the scenes in the industry.
Well,
you know, and give bands an insight to, you know, what it takes to get to the next level.
Right. It does. And you need creative talent behind your back. I mean, if you don't have somebody, there's some, you know, there are a couple bands, maybe one or two. There's a lot of bands who think that they can do this themselves, and they do it themselves. And it looks like they did it themselves. That's not the kind of content you want to put out, period.
Well,
depending on what it's for. But
so while we're talking about getting other people from the industry in, I've just sent a message. Let me pull it up.
Girl?
Holly, when are you coming on the podcast?
Another great one. Another great guest. Yeah. Do a night of you know, of photographers.
Yeah.
I want to go back, but no, that's exactly like what we were talking about. And that was why a couple of the questions that I asked, I'm thinking like from the perspective, if you imagine the new band, if they were in the living room watching the show, or, you know, whatever, it's like, what questions should they have that maybe they do have, or that they don't know that they should be asking? That's the type of content we can continue to put out this year. In addition to having bands on, when's your next single, where you're playing, I think that's as beneficial, like the blueprint of what you should be doing, as anything else. I mean, I really believe that.
Yeah, it does. It takes a cumulative team behind you. It takes your producer. It takes the photographers. It takes the videographers. It takes the social media. It takes all those things, your management, your booking agent, all those things, and puts it all together. You've got to have a team behind you. And I'm not saying if you're a band that's brand new watching this, clearly you don't have that. You don't have the finances for that. But you can build little by little by little. And that's what it is. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If you are looking to sprint your way to stardom, you might as well just back right out the race.
Yeah, or be a a millionaire, already son of a big rock star or something too.
Right.
But you're right. You start out writing the music, because I mentioned that earlier. Artists, I've read the articles like, hey, I just want to be a guitar player, or I just want to be a singer, or I just want to be in the band. I don't want to do all this other shit. Understood. I get that. That's great. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Used to, you would sign off. What, Kevin? What was the number? They kept 13% on the video. If you
13%.
So what is that? 87%. Yeah, sign 87% away of your future monies, and it
was 13% to the artist, but then out of the artist percentage, they had to give a point to the producer, a point to the mixing, and so by the time it was all over with, the artist got 9%. So 91% of that song was gone.
Yep.
And that's the percentage, not including what it costs to do the recordings, which goes back to what we were talking about earlier about them charging you a studio fee, then charging you for the amp that you were using. I mean, it was mafia shit, and it was bad. So if I were back in them days, I would highlight how much drugs Motley Crue got to do. That way you're focused on that, and you're not worried about the finances part of it, while I took in all the cash and was like, just get signed and overdose on heroin and strippers. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
And, the labels kept all the money. Today it's different. It's different.
It's different. It's a different game completely.
Hence the reason those bands are still limping around stage playing. Because they're still trying to recoup that money.
And you know what's funny, if that's the right word you want to use, the reason that they can still make the mega millions, the ones that are relevant still, which most of them aren't, is because I think, and again, I'm not an attorney, but like they still own the rights to their live performances. I think a lot of bands nowadays, right, they get 100% of that, I think, for the most part. Nowadays, those 360 deals, you'd still be giving the record labels that the millions that you're making on the live shit. How bad would that be?
That's what's so terrible about merch cuts, about bands who are like literally the venue's the ones taking the money from the door. They get paid their guarantee, right? But then the venue's taking all that money. They're making all the money from the bar that band sold out for you, so all those people could be in there. And then the only thing that they have to leverage to make money on, and you have the friggin' audacity to ask them for a cut when they filled your venue and all the people that got shit-faced drunk that night on your booze. Are you for real?
Yep.
Sorry, makes me angry. But it's not okay. It's
Lisa's on vent mode.
We've talked about that before on the show. Kevin and I been talking about a venue forever. I was like, if that's the model that I have to run, is to take a cut from the band's merch,
you're doing something wrong, I think, as a venue owner.
Shut the doors. I'm not doing that. Now, there's some other things that I could say that might make the artist mad too. Like, I think a lot of times bands think like this guaranteed money at a beginner level. Like, I don't play for exposure. I get that. Then don't play. But there is a trade-off there that is relevant. Now, do bands get abused maybe sometimes from that? Yes. But you see what I'm saying? Like, so there's two sides of that coin, but a merch take, I've never, I don't see how you make that a real thing. To me, that makes sense.
It makes me sick. Anyway.
It does.
We're going
so,
back.
Jared, you touched on a good point as you started that conversation, is this is what the sound should be doing in 24. So there's new stuff coming on the sound in 24. The four of us had a big meeting between Christmas and New Year. And you all know that we've got the sound check show, which I will bring up right now.
Already got it. You want to bring up the other one?
Yeah, that's not.
And
There we go.
This is. Have we got it?
Don't somebody click and somebody don't click. Matt, click it up.
Kevin Click.
Kevin, click.
It's not me.
There we go.
No. So we've revamped how the sound check is going to run. It's going to be 4 songs twice a week on a Sunday and a Wednesday for 2 weeks, and then 1 song gets added from the fan requests, the sharing on social media and stuff. So if you see a band that you love that's in the sound check and want it added, share it out on social medias, grab those screenshots, send in those requests, get those messages in, and let us know who you want in rotation.
Yep. Go to our social media, comment on the posts.
That's important. And you saw the list right there. So I love
Really good
that.
song.
That's the new motto running through 2024. We're always trying to get better. We're always trying to improve and shine the spotlight on the artist, right? That's the kicker here. You can all tell that we're hooked. But I know we've been at this for a minute now. Kevin, what is it looking like on the Grudge Match? The people are in the comments still with us. So what's it looking like?
So you can actually go to our YouTube page and to our website and see that Etched and Embers has been added to the Hall of Fame with Happy Song.
Oh,
they took 80% of the votes.
He's doing the updates before the announcement, people.
He has to do something while we all run our mouths, right?
Right.
I mean, so I don't know if so while we are talking and I can hear everything, I'm over there updating everything, and I know my face probably like something messes up on the screen, or like, fuck. And people think I'm probably reacting to you guys. No, but I'm reacting to my idiot ass making a mistake when I was updating the website. So,
ladies and gentlemen, remember, he comes from radio. He does it. He was trained that when the guest is talking, he could take his shirt off. He could walk away. Didn't matter. This is video. It's a whole new thing for him. 5 years in, he's still learning.
that is very true. Very true.
One thing before we do end,
I see a nasty face. Very seldom does it have anything to do with anything that's going on the show.
When we get enough money, Kevin, I'm going to pay somebody to go back and just take stills of you for like multiple episodes of just like.
Right.
We can sell it as a poster.
Before we end the live, I want to, as it's the first one of 2024, like I see a lot of our diehard fans in the comments, and we can't do what we do without you. And we appreciate all the love and support that you show us through 23, and just keep your eyes on us in 24. There's going to be some big things happening, but we appreciate everything you do, all the shares, likes, comments, and stuff like that. We can't do what we do without you supporting us.
100%. And if like he said, if you like it, share it. Hit us a thumbs up. The magazine's out. Etched and Embers on the cover. Go read some articles. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to see inside of the magazine. And if you're digging it, man, share it out. It's a digital magazine. So we hope that we're breaking bands that you've never heard of or that you already like, on the up and coming side of things. And look at that. Look at Etched and Embers looking professional now.
For $15, go grab yourself a copy, take it to the next EIE show, have them sign it, bring a silver Sharpie with you. I'm sure they would be happy as hell to do that for you.
Ooh, listen at Lisa getting
you can go ahead and buy the back copies as well on our website. Take it to your next Kingdom Collab show, Any Given Sin show, Of Virtue, Outlier. If you're going to be in Europe, go have Lake Malice sign theirs. Go ahead and get it out.
Wow. Hey, we should do a contest. Who can get, like, you get it signed by the band that's on the cover, you get entered it in, and then we'll figure out what we win. Let's do that.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
That was your idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
So on top of that, so why don't we do this? So if you get the magazine, you get it, and you get it signed by the band.
The cover band.
Let us see it.
It's got to be
cover band, of course. And you get entered in, and at the end of the year, we'll draw a winner, and they get all 12 issues of the magazine.
And possibly, if it keeps going throughout the year, possibly we just keep adding on to that prize package, because I think we can safely financially.
No, we can add like a sound shirt, or we can add all sorts of stuff into it,
or dinner with Aerosmith or something like that. Who knows how this thing could grow. He didn't hear me. He didn't hear me.
I don't know.
Shit right here.
I want.
Did you hear what I said, Kevin?
No,
I
I
said-
didn't. You started. I had a feeling it was going towards me, so I tuned it out.
No, I was saying, or like dinner with Aerosmith or something like that. Who knows how bad or big this thing could get, right? By the end of the year. So
Yeah, we can make that happen. It's all, I could get, like we said, it's all in who you know.
Right, exactly. Well, look, thanks everybody for tuning in. Tonight was a good one. I think they kicked off the new year better than we did tonight. Thank you to you three for being on the live tonight. It's always fun, and we'll see y'all in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.